big week later in the week, last week, when there was this story of the blue card coming out. My first chance to have a bit of a chat on it. Maybe some of you want to have your say as well. I'm firmly, like most people, against this, but the three principles of why I'm against it are very simple. So this blue card would effectively drop in between a yellow and a red. First of all, I don't understand why it would be blue. Surely it'd be orange, but there we go. Let's not get about that. But so you'd be getting it for sin bins, and look, straight away I'm confused. I don't really understand what it's about or why we even need it. What we've seen this season is an incapability to actually find consistency with yellow and reds without confusing the issue even more. I think that some referees in the Premier League this season have almost become like WWE referees, where it's about them. And this would only make it more the case because they get more time in front of the camera, and we don't want that. My granddad always said to me, you know what a good referee is? One you don't know the name of because you don't notice them. And I don't think that's going to help this. Also, my second principle, sin bins won't work in football. How many games do you watch when there's an early red card and you know that's destroyed the game? Unlike rugby, when teams go down to 10 men in football, it doesn't lead to a better game. It leads to the defensive team parking the bus and the attacking team struggling to break them down. So when you're down to 10 men for 10 minutes, you can easily just park the bus for 10 minutes. It won't make the game any better. I can't believe that anybody in football would actually think that that would be the case. I think there'd be more delays as well because you're bringing in another card. So there's going to be more delays, which makes it even worse for people in the stadium and watching at home. And again, what do we have at the moment? Inconsistency, subjectivity. In one game, you'll see somebody getting, let's imagine a title race next season. In one game, Liverpool get a player sin binned for dissent. They concede. They draw a game instead of winning it. In another game next week, Man City don't get a blue card and a sin bin, and they win, and therefore they win the title. This is not what we want. I actually said to somebody this week, I would rather they'd come up with a computer program that was AI driven, that made sure that there was consistency across every yellow card, red card, and handball. And people probably don't want computers involved in football, but I'd rather have that than a blue card. Complete no for me. But that's my thoughts on it. Let's get back to the calls then. And actually, we've got John, who he's a Chelsea fan, wants to have his say on the blue cards as well. Evening, John. What are your thoughts?
Hi. What it is basically is I don't think that they've done VAR. VAR's made the game even worse because they don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? And even when they look back at it, they're still making mistakes. And not being funny, could red cards, yellow cards and blue cards come in to referees as well? Because some of these referees are making decisions on these lower clubs, and they might go down by 1 point, and that could be them out of business or go into everything. But the referees, not being funny, the blue card's only going to slow the game down. Yeah. And then what happens if, and not being funny, what it also does is, it's like one team get a blue card and then another incident happens that it don't. It's causing crowd trouble as well and making people argue and shout, like the other week in the Newcastle Derby game when there was trouble in the West Brom one where they had to come off the pitch and everything, and kids are getting hurt and parents are wondering about taking their kids to football anymore. You know what I mean? Really, in theory, it should just be one person making a decision. If he makes a bad decision, that's it. But when VAR are looking into it, they're still making mistakes. And then basically, you know what I mean? Really, in theory, it's one place to make the decisions, and then that's the end of the matter.
100%. John, we were losing you a little bit there, but great call, great passion. And I agree. I think that what you want in football is more of a flow. I think there's too many games this season that have, we had 10 minutes added on in the Man City game at the end today. It's 2-0 against Everton. The game's over and we're playing 10 minutes at the end of it. It's 2-stop-start as it is. Blue cards, we'll be playing for 4 hours like they will in the Super Bowl tomorrow night. We've got to get the game flowing better, not slower, 100%.